He's not just an idiot, morally reprehensible, stupid, unread, filthy, disgusting. He is mentally disabled. What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And I think I'm beginning to understand why Donald Trump is still attracted to 13 and 14. And it's more than just the fact that he is a sociopath who believes that everything he can take, he must. And that is how he gains any satisfaction in the place of love. Wherever love would be, that takes it. The gold, the girls, the defiling, these replace love. And a person as degenerate as him. He's not just an idiot, morally reprehensible, stupid, unread, filthy, disgusting. He is mentally disabled. Yeah, he has been mentally disabled by his father who never loved him. And so at the age where he could really convince himself that his father actually loved him and lie to himself and believe it was right around 11 or 12. That's why he still finds 11 or 12 attractive. That's him. And because he's still at the age of 11 or 12, right around there, I would say a very poorly educated 11 or 12, a very poorly socialized, very poorly educated 11 or 12, because they're 8, 7-year-olds that are way more intelligent, well-spoken, decent, forward-thinking than him. But he's a child, a broken, mentally disabled, destructive child without discipline or love. And that concoction makes for one of the most historically unbelievable chapters in our country. Watch this.
Today, there was new reporting from NBC News detailing how White House advisors managed Trump's delicate information bubble, briefing him about the war. Here's what it says, quote, "Each day since the start of the war in Iran, U.S. military officials compile a video update for Donald Trump that shows video of the biggest, most successful strikes on Iranian targets over the previous 48 hours. And that's according to 3 current U.S. officials and 1 former official who spoke to NBC News. The daily montage typically runs for about 2 minutes, sometimes longer. One official described each daily video as a series of clips of stuff blowing up. Stuff blowing up. So just to put a fine point on this, Trump's national security advisor's approach to briefing the president on this war is basically the same way a busy parent might approach entertaining a cranky little toddler. Just give the baby an iPad with lots of flashing lights and big booms and hope it keeps his attention. Now, NBC News notes that this daily highlight reel isn't the only briefing Trump gets about the war, okay? But we also know that getting Trump to actually absorb and comprehend critical intelligence has been a long-standing challenge for almost a decade now. This is not a new thing. I mean, in his first administration, Trump regularly skipped his daily intelligence briefing, one of the most important updates, of course, a president receives each day. And Trump's aides had to essentially trick him into reading other important briefings, dumbing things down into single-page memos with lots of pictures. At one point, the National Security Council even started strategically including Trump's name in as many paragraphs as possible because he would only keep reading if the documents talked about him. When Trump's second administration began, Trump's advisors even reportedly floated the idea of creating a video version of his daily intelligence brief that was, quote, made to look and feel like a Fox News broadcast. So now the president's briefing has been dumbed down so much that he's reportedly getting updates on his most consequential military decision using what is essentially a highlight reel of stuff blowing up. That's where we are. That's the information that he's getting. And we don't know exactly what those videos show. We do have a window into this administration's visual sensibilities because, after all, this is the same administration that has been littering the internet with absolutely insane propaganda videos. You can see a bunch of them on your screen there. Splicing together footage of U.S. military strikes with clips of sports, video games, and movies featuring everything from Call of Duty to SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's not funny. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, though. Does anybody know anyone like this? Really, comment down there. Does anyone know anyone like this? Do you guys know somebody like this? I know one. I know 2. And the only thing they can think about is what they can blow up. Video games still. You see, those guys aren't really rich, so they don't get the types of leeway They don't get the type of enabling behavior from others that he gets. But all that's done is turn him into an even worse 12-year-old, a regression, if you will. He's a baby. He's also old, and so part of that is just natural, but we saw it before. He's always been disgusting. Unfortunately, as funny as that is to those of us who see these idiots out here acting like children, who know that person personally, you know that guy, that dummy who's stuck at his baseball career in high school, or stuck at the goal that he kicked when he was 12. Or stuck with still playing video games, imagining himself to be a hero that he can never really be. This guy is actually the president, and that leads to this.
Russia ain't hiding the fact that it has been sending drones to Iran, along with satellite imagery, targeting data, and intelligence support that has been crippling to the United States. And Vladimir Putin and Lavrov and Yushakov and Dmitriev, the crew that keeps on meeting with Witkoff and Kushner, who keep getting more concessions out of the United States, they're out there bragging and boasting that the United States military bases throughout the Middle East have been obliterated. You want to use the word obliterated, Donald? New York Times is reporting how Iran just wrecked all of America's Gulf bases. Kuwait gutted with collapsed roofs and smashed radar. 17 U.S. sites have been hit in the Middle East region, $800 million or more in damage in weeks. Our troops have basically abandoned all of the American military bases in the Middle East. May I repeat that? Our troops have abandoned basically all of the military bases in the Middle East, and now they are working remotely from hotels while Iran is utilizing a spy network to try to find which hotels U.S. troops are at to target those hotels. Just take a look at this New York Times article, though, about how successful Russia has been at transferring this data to Iran to target these American bases, while Donald Trump continues to be a Putin bootlicker publicly. Now, the New York Times doesn't say, oh, well, Russia gave these coordinates. Just put together the Financial Times story about Russia just announcing that it's doing this, and the New York Times story, and it's obvious what is taking place right here. Just take a look right here at what the New York Times article says. Many of the 13 military bases in the region used by American troops are all but uninhabitable. Iran has bombed U.S. bases across the Middle East in retaliation for the U.S.-Israeli war, forcing many American troops to relocate to hotels and office bases throughout the region, according to military personnel and American officials. By the way, this is leaking out because our commanders, our military leaders in the Middle East, are trying to send messages back home for us to hear them. What a freaking disaster this war is. We hear you. We know the message you're trying to send. That's why we're making a video about it right here to educate the people how Donald Trump has thrown you all under the bus, and now you're all in hiding in hotels. Should be a pretty big story, right? And all our military bases are abandoned right now, and our soldiers and troops are hiding in hotels. So now much of the land-based military is in essence fighting the war while working remotely, with the exception of fighter pilots and crews operating and maintaining war plans and conducting strikes. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has urged people to report these new locations as it hunts for the dispersed troops. U.S. military officials say that the threat is not stopping the Pentagon from carrying out the war against Iran, which is in its fourth week. Many of the 13 military bases in the region used by American troops are all but uninhabitable, with the ones in Kuwait, which is next door to Iran, suffering perhaps the most damage. 6 U.S. service members were killed in a strike on Port Shuaba that destroyed an Army Tactical Operations Center. Iranian drones and missiles also targeted the Ali al-Salam Air Base, damaging aircraft structure and injuring personnel at Camp Buring, damaging maintenance and fuel facilities. In Qatar, Iran struck the Al Udeid Air Base, the regional air headquarters of U.S. Central Command, damaging an early warning radar system. In Bahrain, a one-way Iranian attack drone struck communications equipment at the headquarters of the U.S. Fifth Fleet. At Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, Iranian missiles and drones damaged communications equipment and several refueling tankers. And folks, this data, these strike targets, these resources are coming from Russia. By the way, you know who was saying it? The foreign minister of Iran 3 weeks ago, Aragchi. He was asked, remember I showed you the clip? Who was helping you? China and Russia. You sure? Yes. What are they doing? Militarily, economically, politically. He said, the guy said it out loud. Well, I appreciate that the Financial Times is reporting about it now, but he said it 3 weeks ago. That's what I was talking about.
Now, it's not really funny anymore. It's not really funny anymore. This sociopath, this animal is, beyond repair. He's old. He is beyond repair mentally. He has been before he got old. But now there's nothing more to do to help this guy. And now that he's the president, the consequences are being manifested in such a way that we will either die, all of us, before he does, or we will impeach him before that happens. Because evil people, for some reason, by the force of the dark side itself, never seem to die. Why is he so old even though he only eats McDonald's and never exercises? Because he is hoisted up by the dark side itself. I don't understand why his eyes aren't yellow. He is a Sith child, and our people, the politics aside, we're being hunted in foreign lands that we used to be friendly with. The runoff effects, the down the line effects of this is a weaker military, a weaker world stance, a weaker dollar, dead sons and daughters, a stronger adversary. Oh yeah, and by the way, we're already friends with Russia, who are the people that are giving Iran the target, the information, and the intelligence. I wonder where that's coming from. No. This is it. We have one chance. And I don't mean this day or that day. I mean, we have one chance. That is to impeach him. And that chance is the only one we have other than violence. He must go. Either way. On the 28th, this Saturday, tomorrow, there's a No Kings protest. 5051 and Indivisible have done a great job at holding them. I say make sure that whichever one you go to, the one in Atlanta that's also in conjunction with the Atlanta Buddhist Society, will be going to direct action at the capitals, in the offices of the people who can make decisions. The park will not cut it. We have to demand that they impeach him. We have to stop fooling ourselves and being weak and saying, well, this can't happen, that won't happen. I hear you. Go back to sleep, because the only other option is one that only idiots in fake camouflage that walk around on the ground with no girlfriends in the middle of a Tennessee wooden area think is fun and cool. It is not. It is not. But God damn it. If we're not ready for the impeachment, if we're not going to demand that our government, who has a constitutional right to get rid of this guy, what comes next will be not nice. I'm going to play a commercial for another way you can fight back that actually works. People who need donations after this. But God damn it, the time to fight is now. Also, direct action means maybe you need to be throwing some dildos. I didn't say throwing, I'm sorry. Holding, playing. The dildo distribution people. Yeah. You haven't seen them? Go to closertotheedge.com. I'm going to put the link in there that shows you the whole thing that they're doing. It's amazing. But they're using these, and they've got thousands of them now because they realize that they're so effective at warding off these ICE agents at Whipple in Minneapolis. And now around the nation, they're giving these away to people. They're passing them out because that absurdity in the face of this toxic masculinity seems to be the one thing that gets these ICE agents to back off. It actually works. So they need donations. Email me, because just the other day, FBI came to one of the dildo distribution people's house. They're so interested in this. So now nobody wants to put their name behind it. And I don't want them to either. So I want to help them get those donations for the thousands that they've bought. Also, the thousands were donated to them as well. But for the ones that they bought, they need to get that money back, and they need to keep this going because it's working. If nothing else, just to piss off those ICE agents. Email me, politicaldrain@proton.me. politicaldrain@proton.me. You email me, say, I want to donate, and I will give you the instructions on how to do so, because the time to fight is now.
She get wet and get erect and she want to ride. Love me a long time, looking at my eyes. Arch your back and spread out your thighs. Darling, Missy, darling, my baby. Mashed potatoes all in your gravy. Ain't no maybe straight, yes sir, yes sir. All in the crotch like a zipper. Check this out as I dig off in the gut like a madman. Zigzag full of hash plant in a handstand. She be trying to run cause the gun got a long barrel. Then I make her sing like a elf Christmas carol. Oh my Lord, my funny rhythm song urban system. Kush this time that I grew in my bedroom closet. Stop it, drop it on a pink plane like a cockpit. Pussy profit, see through the pink eye when I log it. I'ma do my job there, I'ma do my job there.